stones? What if everybody's used to their own features? What if we got nothing more than this? Please remember what I said about magic. Remember what I told you about us. Please remember what I said about magic. Remember what I told you about us. About us. When all the words are heard, every little sentence turns to gold. What if everybody's just alright? What if we got nothing more than this? Please remember what I said about magic. Remember what I told you about us. Please remember what I said about magic. Remember what I told you about us. About us. About us.
I think everyone wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost. I think everyone wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost.
I'm not afraid of your ghosts, Bridget.
I think everyone wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost.
I'm not afraid of your ghosts, Bridget.
I think wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost. I think everyone wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost.
I'm not afraid of your ghosts, Bridget.
I think everyone wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost.
I'm not afraid of your ghosts, Bridget.
her how far I'll go, so they better lie low. Mind racing, I'm crazy, I'm just a psycho. Yeah, 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 psycho. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mind racing, I'm crazy, I'm just a psycho. Yeah, 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 psycho. Yeah, 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 yeah. Excuse me, like I have no manners. The man of my city, you're mapped up. So many are critics, but jealous, I'm litty. They numbers do not match the standards. So I'm from a gritty on China's. T'Challa, I'm really a panther. I don't want your pity, I'm ready, let's get it. I'm about to make this shit an anthem. Let me for the body like, let's go. You lanes really get me upset though. I see you rest such a nigga with snatch yo. I want other smoke like petrol. Gas to the mask on day, whoa. Bad shit get trash on set, bro. Psycho, they call me your idol. Won't want you do that slow, I'ma answer to the bio. Tell her how far I'll go, so they better lie low. Mind racing, I'm crazy, I'm just a psycho. No, tell her how far I'll go, so they better lie low. Mind racing, I'm crazy, I'm just a psycho. Yeah, 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 psycho. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Gives your words away, do not waste your time. Lingering, pondering, save your space and wine. You are not a tree, just move if you don't like where you are, where you are, where you are. Every time I think about all the things I live without, motivates me, it's a do or die. Fear, no fear, it's worth a try.
I lost people over pen. I don't regret it, and every time I think about it, all the time my heart forgives. I have given everything, but it's not enough. Fear, no fear, my heart can't stop. 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 The sun gives you a meaning to erase your every morning. Just open up your eyes and you'll see that there's a meaning to the love-hate relationship. To the haters that wants that great, I can't hide from my fears no more. I can't hide from my fears no more. I lost people over petty shit. And every time I think about it, all the time my heart forgives.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Belong Arena. Toby Campbell here with Alex, and we're going back to Gears. I hope you joined us last week, but if not, we will be recapping things, won't we, Alex? Including the game, and of course the fixtures that we saw last week. Wasn't that close between the four teams that we saw. We're hoping it's going to be a little bit closer today, but there were some very good teams last week, of course, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, not very close was a bit of an understatement. We had two very, very one-sided, very, very strong teams on the stream last week. Hopefully today is a little bit closer. And yeah, we did see some fantastic plays there last week, that's for sure.
And for those of you who might be aware of who me and Alex are, but not too familiar with the Belong Arena, this is a treat for you. It's a very unique thing here in the UK in Gears Esports. We've got a lot of amateur players. We've got some very good experienced players, which of course we recognised last week in Manchester Swarm, and they're going to collide. And there's going to be, and of course there's locations that we have to consider as well. That's something that's fairly new in esports, especially in Gears of War. And so there's lots to go through actually if you're not familiar with the Belong Arena. And it's a bit of a treat actually. It's something that I really appreciate about this. About all of this going on.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that's kind of, I don't want to say unique to the UK, but very, very easy in the UK to set up, given just how close everything is infrastructure-wise. So, yeah, definitely good to see. I think we had 18, 19 teams involved in just the Gears of War side of things. Many, many hundreds of more teams involved across a whole slate of esports that's going on here with the Belong Arenas.
Yep. Indeed. And I think the thing with Gears of War as well is it's such a unique game. That it's exciting for me for actually this game to be alongside so many different esports of different genres.
Yep.
We have things that are unique as Rocket League. We have League of Legends. You know, your stereotypical shooters as well involved, fighting games. And so just for Gears to be in this arena itself, Alex, is very exciting for me.
Yeah, we've been a bit of a hidden esport, I think, and it's not an esport that a lot of people kind of get involved in and get to witness. So yeah, it is. It's great to put it on this slate. Great to have it alongside Rocket League today, and you know, within those other esports that you mentioned as well, throughout the whole slate of games that's going on. And it's good to be able to show it to a new audience as well, because that's something different as well. A lot of people tuning in, perhaps first time seeing Gears of War, or second time now if you were here last week. And you know, we get to explain it, we get to showcase our game to new people, new folk, and it's a good exercise, definitely.
Absolutely. So let's look at the tables, shall we, and kind of recap what we saw last week. And of course, many matches happened off stream too. For the first group, of course, Manchester Swarm, they're sitting pretty at the top. We have Guardians, who we'll be seeing today, the Bears, Spartans, and Centurions. All, well, rather 4 out of the 5 there with wins and 3 points to their name. Going over to the second portion of Group 1. That is Group 1B. A number of teams as well, but you'll notice all of them with losses. Leviathans, Rams, Spectres, and Steelers. Of course, awesome team names. We touched upon that earlier, Alex. Yep. Last week.
Yeah. We mentioned earlier that there was 2 kind of drubbings in the show. It was Bradford, sadly the Rams there that were on the end of one of them, and Steelers on the other. But they put up a good fight, that's for sure. And there's a lot more teams than just this group as well. We have another group as well coming up. Today's game, we're going to be seeing the York Vikings out of Group 2. We see them there. They're going to win last week, so they're one of our winning teams that are going to go into today's game, and they're going to be facing off against Cardiff in our second game. But the first game that we're going to see is the Leviathans against the Guardians. That's another Group 1 game. So sadly, only one game out of Group 2 today. But yeah, there you go. There's the teams for Group 2A.
Yep, going over to the second portion of Group 2. That's Group 2B. We have the Invincibles, Nighthawks, Pirates, and Lionhearts, all with 0 wins and 1 loss. And so immediately, folks, you can see we've got a lot of teams here, Alex. One of the great things about this initiative. So many teams that are composed of amateur players, newer players, but also your experienced players. Yep. And you know, just comparing the amount of teams we have in this prestigious esports initiative in Gears of War, it's a lot of teams. You know, when you look at the online tournament participation for Gears of War and your more traditional schemes, you know, Gears Esports itself, run by Microsoft, and other, you know, one-off online tournaments. So it's great to see such a huge turnout for something where you have to turn up to the location, the game store, your local arena, form a team of 5, mind you, in Gears of War, and come in a very, as I said, prestigious and successful scheme.
I think one of the one of the cool things for me is that we've not just got Gears players playing. We've got players whose kind of histories and backgrounds are in other games. So we know for a fact that there are many Overwatch players competing in this time, and this is also part of that fact why we're seeing so many teams in this competition. Is that it's not just the Gears players coming out to play. Other people are trying to take a bit of a gander at it and see what's going on there, and we've got players coming from other games to try and compete in the Clash and get a taste of Gears of War.
And that's amazing to see, right? Because Gears, historically has just been a console game, but now we have it on PC.
True.
You know me. I play Gears of War on PC. I competed back in the day,
doesn't
just
everyone?
like you, for over a decade. But
Yep.
now I play exclusively on PC. I play Gears of War exclusively on PC with mouse and keyboard as well, might I add. And so Gears has really gone through this system of increased esports funding, increased participation, prize pools, but also we're seeing it played on different devices. We've seen a huge increase in the amateur player participation count. Of course, Gears 5 release, we had, I think it was the biggest game on Xbox Live, wasn't it? For
3 million.
3 million players.
Plus, yeah.
Of course, Gears of War, awesome single player. We have Horde, we have the new mode Escape in Gears 5, but also so many new players getting involved with the versus multiplayer, and it's even coming into initiatives just like Arena Clash, Alex.
Yep, Arena Clash is one. 2v2 as well is another thing that we've not really touched on. It's basically secondary competition, I guess, to the escalation side of things. We're seeing that now at major events as well, where we're having the 2v2 tournaments pull over 100 teams, and that's also a very easy way. A very easy route in if you're thinking, I want to play a little bit of Gears, but I don't know where to start. Grab a friend, go play some 2v2, because honestly, there's a game mode in the game as well, so you can jump straight into a Nash's 2v2 game mode, and then it's supported at these events, and there's thousands and thousands of dollars of prize pool on the line as well for those. So not only have we got escalation, we've got 2v2s, and Gears is on the up and up, that's for sure.
Yeah. Just getting an update. We have a little bit of an update on that first game. Excuse me. I think there's just been an update in the game, and
Yes.
so a lot of players at these stores are just getting the PCs, their consoles updated. It shouldn't be long. It's a very small update. We did just check.
Yep.
So please bear with us on that front. But very quickly, we're talking about game modes. We also have free for all now in Gears of War. So
Very true.
if you're interested in giving this a go, maybe you have Game Pass. You'll get free access with the Xbox Game Pass on both PC and Xbox to Gears of War. Free for all. You don't even need a teammate for that mode.
Hey, that's true.
And this is a mode, historically, say, like another Microsoft game like Halo. Free for all works in Gears of War, in my opinion.
Well,
I love it.
It came up through Judgment, right? It's that game that no one talks about, but it did come up through there and was very, very popular in that game. And I think it's great, actually. I've played a little bit of it myself, probably not as much as you, Toby, but I have played a lot of it myself. It is a good addition on those escape tiles. It's real good fun.
Yep, you have specific maps which you play free for all on. Specific, lots of power weapon pickups actually in free for all if that's something you like. Explosives, snipers, boltox,
The
we have
mace.
more magnums, the mace itself, controversial object of course, but it's just a hammer essentially, and
Just a hammer. It's
just a hammer that sends shock.
Thor's jealous of that hammer.
Yes.
It's not just a hammer.
But we also have it come to ranked, of course. If you're wondering, is there ranked in Gears of War? There is. There's a big ranking system. We're getting an awesome revamp as well of that system as well to make sure it's perfect for competitive play. There's casual, Horde, Escape, Campaign, etc. Lots to do in Gears of War. Highly recommend it. And I'm going to keep promoting the game, of course. We talked about the game a lot in
It's almost like you're a fan.
I think I'm a fan. I am a fan. Just a minor fan.
Yeah.
Talking about being a fan, we've got a new little object next to us.
It's not the sloth.
It's not the sloth.
I'm a bit disappointed that it's not the sloth.
I'm not
Gotta
sure
be honest. We'll get sloth later, I'm sure.
Maybe we'll get that. I think we can. But yeah, this is a Gears of War grenade. Gears of War grenade, and I might just throw this.
Not on me.
I don't know.
That
I
way.
probably shouldn't
Hit
throw it
production.
as
That's
much as I
fine.
want to. But yeah, we'll leave it here. But let's look at the versus graphic in just a moment, shall we? For this first game, you touched upon it earlier, Alex. We have two fantastic teams going against each other. Lakeside Leviathans versus the Tyneside Guardians. Going through the names, we have Snow, Tunabees, Toki, TFCN, Bailey, and they're going against Spartan Dan, Muckbride, Scrub, Mike, Lildoob, and Lemon, I believe, is the coach. Names standing out to you, first of all, Alex? Anything jumping out?
Nothing crazy right now. Nothing jumping out to me. Players obviously a little bit more of the grassroots side of things, and probably a bit more of a a balanced game than the ones we saw last week, from at least from first glance. We do know that Tyneside last week, they did come out and they looked like they went 5-0 in their first game, so potentially a good squad there. Lakeside, on the other hand, they were at the hands of a loss, but they're only -3 in difference, so they did manage to get a couple of rounds on the board, and from what I remember, they were against a good opponent as well, so I don't think we're going to see a bit of a drubbing like we did last week, but we'll see as we get into the game. Definitely going to be an interesting one, that's for sure, though.
Sure. What's interesting to me is that the Tyneside Guardians is more of a classic team, if you will, in Gears of War and Belong, and these names I'm familiar with.
You are?
Yeah. They're one of the stronger teams that competed in the past in the Belong arena. And if I'm going to go for a prediction, if I'm going to put myself out there I think Tyneside Guardians have a very good chance of winning it. Of course, they won last week. You say it could have been a 5-0.
Was, yeah.
Round count within that map, and I think I think Tyneside Guardians should win this comfortably. Not as perhaps comfortable as we've seen in the past. Maybe not a 5-0 or anything similar like last week, but I think. I think they're the favourites for this one, Alex.
Okay. The only reason I was thinking maybe might be close is because Lakeside played Stratford last week, and I know Stratford to be a very strong team. That's the team with Pure Legends in there and his cohort from his university. And honestly, they're a good bunch of guys, that's for sure. But they're also very, very good. I've played against them both in 5v5. I've played against them in 2v2 tournaments. We actually played a 2v2 at the Belong Arena in London. And they were in the final against myself and Jake. So I know them very well, and I know they are here to compete. So to know that the Lakeside team managed to take a couple of rounds off them, maybe a bit of an underdog, but maybe a hidden underdog at that.
It's a very good sign, actually, taking rounds off Stratford, because that was one of the teams we highlighted as having some very good players on that side last week, right? And so, yeah, I guess this first game is going to be perhaps a little bit more entertaining than we saw previously in the previous week. Not as much of a landslide, and of course these teams have had time to prepare, to practice together, and see what they're made of. I mean, I've bigged up Guardians a little bit, but this is the start of the new arena clash, and they're perhaps maybe not in for a shock, but they're going to be tested a little bit more in this season of play than they've had previous, and I'm excited to see what they can do.
Yeah, me too. I mean, that's the beauty of having a very open tournament, right? Is that players from Master Tier or all the way down to basically unranked, basically new to the game, can compete against each other, can learn off each other, and we do sometimes get some one-sided matchups. But on the other hand, you also get some close matchups and some new players involved in the scene, which is great, right? That's what this is all about. It's grassroots. It's about building up Gears as a scene, and the more people, the merrier. That's for sure.
Absolutely. On that note, folks, what I'm going to do just now is throw it to a 5-minute break because we're having a few more technical difficulties. I'm sure it's to do with the update, Alex. The update is very small, folks. We shouldn't be long, but 5 minutes on the clock, and that should be just about enough time for us to get into the first game. So, guys, please don't go anywhere. Tweet out the stream. We'll be back very soon.
Why don't we start again? Did this back to terms we went far away from everything. It's all I need, yeah. So tell me lies, fantasize. We don't need to justify what you need. Ain't hard to find, but you won't find it here. Oh, you don't know my scars, but ooh, it's not who we are.
Oh, you don't know my scars, but ooh, it's not who we are, who we are. It's not who we are, who we are, who we are, who we are.
It's not who we are, who we are, who we are, who we are. It's not who we are, who we are. I'm losing my mind in a wave of you. Swept me up like the ocean blue. Can't lie, gotta face the truth. I'm falling harder than I wanted to. And they say don't go diving in too deep, but I'm already diving in so carelessly. I'm losing my mind in a wave of you. Swept me up like the ocean blue. Can't lie, gotta face the truth. I'm falling harder than I wanted to. And they say don't go diving in too deep, but I'm already diving in so carelessly. Your tide is getting harder to resist, but I don't mind. Honestly, I could get used to this. My mind in a wave of you. Sweat Life's been dragging me to the ground. But I will try to get there, and I will try to be there. So please don't keep me waiting, so I stop hesitating. Life keeps on dragging us down. We hang on so we don't drown. I feel like I'm falling apart without you. Life keeps on dragging us down. We hang on so we don't drown. I feel like I'm falling apart without you. I feel like I'm falling down. Life's been dragging me to the ground. But I will try to get there, and I will try to be there. So please don't keep me waiting, so I stop hesitating. Life keeps on dragging us down. We hang on so we don't drown. I feel like I'm falling apart without you. Life keeps on dragging us down. We hang on so we don't drown. I feel like I'm falling apart without you. Life keeps on dragging us down. We hang on so we don't drown. I feel like I'm falling apart without you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Apologies for the delay. There is no delay remaining now. We can finally get into that game, as all players I've had confirmed to me are in the lobby ready to go. First map as well, actually, Alex. Let's jump into that very quickly. It's going to be Training Grounds. We saw this last time.
Sure.
And it's a more traditional map, as I usually describe it as. There's a lot of height advantage, but it's one of the more simpler maps, I think, to understand, which is going to be great for the opening map and match of the broadcast.
It is. There's history on the VOD already. We can go back and watch last week's game, and yeah, Sloth last week had fantastic performances on Training Grounds. It's also one of the beta maps, so players have had a lot of time to practice this one. It was out there way back when, before the game released. So definitely a fan favorite. Definitely one that's been around for a time, and I'm sure we'll see some good action on it today.
Very quickly, you know my prediction is going to be the Tyneside Guardians.
Okay.
How about you, my friend?
I have to go with the stats. The stats don't lie, and it has to be Tyneside as well. I hope it's a close one. I do hope it's a close one. And we've covered a little bit about why it could possibly be a close one. But they're 1-0. Yeah, they haven't lost a round by the looks of things, and as you said, there's some good players on that roster. So, yeah, have to go Tyneside's way.
It's a best-of-1 series, so round count matters more. What are we saying?
Round count does matter more. I'm gonna go with a. So I said I was gonna go 5-2, but I'm gonna say 5-3. I think Tyneside are gonna let a couple of rounds slip here, but to be quite honest, until we've seen the teams, that is just we're looking into the wind for that one.
I am going to say 5-1.
5-1. You got confidence
5-1.
then.
I do.
You have confidence.
Honestly, if they got a 5-0 win last week, Guardians, I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again.
That's true.
I've seen what they're capable of in past season, if you will, of Belong. I think they have what it takes to do a 5-0, but I think they'll be around. Well, they slip up. That's my prediction.
That's fine. We're going to come back to this at the end because
we didn't talk about it last week.
We didn't talk about it last, but there's a crucial bit of information that may or may not make a difference here. But we'll come back to it at the end because I think I want to see how the game goes before we even talk about this. Keep your cards on. Because if it goes your way, I've got a bit of a comeuppance for you. If it goes my way, there's a bit of information that should be all right.
Okay.
We'll drop it. We'll drop it later though.
Game is about to start.
Yep.
Shall we break down escalation very quickly for the new viewers? We talked about it loads last.
We did.
Podcast,
we covered it.
Might as well give it a little bit of a recap.
Very quickly, for any new viewers, it's a relatively complicated 3-ring game mode where you've got multiple ways to win. So there are 3 rings. You've got a home hill per team, and you've got a neutral ring as well. You can win by points. So capturing a ring gains you 1 point a second for every second it's captured. So you can get 2 points. If you get 2 rings. Then you can dominate, so you can capture all 3 rings at once, instant win of the round. And there's also the third method as well, and that's elimination. If you manage to sweep all of the opposing team off the field at once, you get an elimination victory. And that's the 1-2-3 basically of escalation. Mid-round, we end up having those weapon placements, but we can see all of that in the game, which we've got coming up very, very shortly.
Yeah, I think we're loading into the game right now. Of course, we'll go through the weapon placement system as we go through the game.
Yep.
We'll take you through it. We'll explain what's going on and try and keep it bare bones for any new viewers.
For sure.
But any classic veterans to Gears of War, any classic fans, this could be a good one. Strap into your seats. I think we could be in for a very good game in this instance. In fact, one player we're waiting on now.
One player.
We were just getting it started, but now we're waiting for one player for Lakeside to jump in. In fact, they're in.
We've got news. They're in.
They're in. Live updates as we get along. Awesome production team we're working with.
Absolutely.
And again, incredible studio. I'm going to point. Well, we pointed to this. We're going to point just off camera as a screen. We'll see it in just a little bit of time. But the team logos, the production quality, it's all come together for such an awesome initiative here, as I said earlier. But here we are, we're into the game. Tyneside Guardians versus the Lakeside Leviathans. You see Tyneside, they are on the COG team, that's the blue side on the left, and the Swarm team, Lakeside Leviathans, are on the right side.
I'll tell you what, he's not. He's not an actual player. This is Swarm Elite Drone, we've got an imposter, we've got a fugitive. The bot's made its way in. So close, we were so close. We'll get that bot out of the game.
I was trying to work out exactly what the method, what the strategy was going into that one, but it was a Swarm Elite Drone. Good spot. Just one player again. We're waiting on.
Hey,
but
it happens.
It happens. It does. We just had an update. There's some things going on. Our services aren't down, or servers rather. We're not held back permanently. So we'll get there. But thank you for sitting and waiting with us. I'm sure it'll be worth the wait. Alex, we talked about the game mode very briefly.
Yep.
We tend to see when it's a landslide victory for some teams, the slaying really comes into it, right? You tend to see more triple caps. They're called dominations, capture all 3 hills at once, or you eliminate the whole team at once before anyone respawns in. An elimination. You see more of them, but as you get a closer game, you tend to see a more of attack and defend system.
Yep.
More like, say, Call of Duty domination. That's perhaps the first 3 hill game mode, I think, that really popularized the 3 rings on a map. It tends to be back and forth, for attack out spawn to try and get the neutral hill back, and it's kind of like a swapping of 2 hills to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Alex, I think Training Grounds is one of these maps, right, that is very attack and defend heavy because of that really up top important position, and that's something really to consider in Gears of War.
Yep.
Is map control. Height advantage is a big thing, and we might see a lot of that in Training Grounds.
Especially in Training Grounds. I think you've nailed it. There are a couple of maps that height advantages do really play into it. Icebound is one, in my opinion, with the 2 towers, and Training Grounds is another, because there are 3 extremely advantageous positions. You've got 2 towers on either side of the map, basically overlooking the neutral street, and then also that raised balcony as well. We'll see it. We'll guide you through it. Which can basically see almost everywhere, right? You can very quickly rotate between the 2 home hills on either side. You can very, very quickly make your way up to the beach street and shoot down onto that as well. So it's a fantastic vantage point, and it will come into play if the teams are you know, evenly matched, if they manage to, you know, not get dominated, as you said, not get eliminated very, very quickly in those opening fights, we will see teams start to battle over these advantageous positions. High ground is one. That center line, that mid line is another one as well. Just fighting for a bit of control. The better teams, what they will do is once they've established that opening fight, they'll try and find a defensible position, right? So they'll push up. Perhaps it's the halfway mark on the map. In this map, not so much. Usually get a bit more of a diagonal split, but they will try and basically take 2 of those high points.
Sure.
And they will hold a lane, they will hold a line, and they will not let you push up. If you manage to break that initial setup, then they fall back to the next one. And that's what a good team does very, very well, is they find a setup, they very quickly react to a push, and then they go back to their next setup. They go back to their next setup. And as you're backing up, you're gaining points all the time. You're trying to grow a lead, basically. And that's what it's all about right at the top level. It's all about finding a point here or there, trying to find a ring here or there, and defending those rings once you've got them.
And I think at this level of play as well, that's kind of like a key to victory, right? If you can set up in the map control areas, the height advantage in particular with training grounds, that could be really the key to victory. If you're not getting outslayed, if you want to really set yourself apart, your team with the opposition, communication levels considered, and general information, and of course map control, it's very important, I think, Alex.
It is.
And we're gonna have to really focus on that. Of course, we've got the mini map top right, and we'll be able to kind of see the general positions of all players in the game at once, and it'll be an interesting story actually to see whether one team has more control of that throughout the map and whether that influences things.
Yeah, well, we do have one story to talk about, and that's the story of Sloth last week. We have prior video on this map. Sloth was very, very heavily pushing towards that home hill. If you've got a good player, you can do that. Let's go into game though. Let's have a look at what these teams are about. We are going to jump on board this time around with Belong Lake. We have some names that we've got here that are, the actual gamer tags. We've got some names that are, let's say, temporary at the moment. But these two teams looking very, very evenly matched at the moment as they go down and fight this B hill. Does look like both teams grabbing their home hills off the initial as well. This can be Tyneside with a bit of an advantage though.
So you see OAG there, he tried to push up very aggressively on the opposite side, but immediately angled out by Mike as he took him out. And so that's the home hill secured. Numbers advantage thanks to McBride as well. Cog side, I think. Guardians looking to push up quite a bit.
So now Spartan just holding this B hill. Has a little bit of help here, McBride as well, as you mentioned. Just defending there, defending well. And it looks to be a pretty strong hold now from the Cog team. What they're doing, just getting themselves in a little corner. They're just trying to hide and sneak a little kill here and there. Mike's managed to get a kill. They are pushing up towards the C hill, looking for the domination. Up to Lakeside now to make the push. OAG trying to get in the ring, gets the kill, isn't able to get a toe in though. First round there, going to be going over to the Cog team.
Yeah, very good round from Guardians. They sent the numbers over to the B hill. Once that was captured and that team fight won there, then you had Mike turn around, defend the home hill, and generally, slowly in fact, their team pushed up together until eventually they went for that triple cap at the right moment. Good little opener from Guardians there. Back to basics, if you will. As we see, the flashbang has been placed on one home hill. Snow will be looking to place a weapon. I think it'll be more the same. Alex, we tend to see utility placed down in these early moments as the teams build up the weapon trees, and I don't think that wasn't too complex of a round. Is fairly basic to understand where one team can improve and one team in the form of Guardians can continue where they were better in.
Yeah, that's for sure. And early doors, we do often see those mimic placements because the teams are still trying to find out what each other are about. What's their strategy? How are they playing the map? At the moment, Cog, they're making their way down to this B street and they're making basically a fight at the neutral zone their priority, right? So perhaps in later rounds, you can look as the Swarm to come back and to basically try and put weapons over that side of the map to help try and push that side of the map. So it's all about figuring the other team out. Cecil now moving up, trying to get this decap. Going to get pushed by McBride, but does get a lovely headshot there. Supporting fire does come in though. Spartan manages to clean that one up from Lemons down. And again, we do see a good hold here by the Cog team. Mike's managed to get another kill on the homes as well, so this could be a very quick round. You've got to be careful here. Mike's got another one. Mike's playing very, very well on that home streak.
He is. I think there's going to be a domination arch once again coming through. So many players here for Guardians pushing up to that A hill that even the Swarm cannot get over their spawn in time. to get there. 51 seconds, that one. A little bit quicker that round. I mean, very early on, Alex, we saw OAG sitting back, pushing up aggressively on that home street. But once again, Mike rotates and comes through and gets the kill, opening up actually that home hill in the end. Spartan Dan, I can just tell very quickly that mechanically he's a very good player. Not as cutthroat was Tyneside Guardians in getting control of the B hill and then moving on there, but eventually the shotgun play and the numbers advantage did come into play for the Tyneside Guardians.
And now that adaptation has come into play. We saw the grenades going down over by the neutral side this time around. So we we will see Lakeside having a little bit more ordnance to try and fight through that B hill fight. We're going to jump on board with Spartan once again. Was the first one down. There goes the smoke grenade. So just covering up a bit of vision here now. And it enables Lakeside just to get down into that B hill if they so want. At the moment, it looks like they're going to sit back a little bit. Lakeside 04 getting down there, goes for the chainsaw, does miss it in the end. Lemon's going to take out Spartan, and that could be an issue, but McBride and Mike, they've managed to find 3. The big flank has come through, and it is Mike behind Lakeside.
And that's the rotation I was talking about earlier. Mike, he previously rotated to the home street, but now he's gone through the middle, I believe, flanked behind the B hill, getting 2 eliminations there. And now they can actually set up, perhaps even go for the triple cap if they get a few more kills.
Liking what I'm seeing here from Tyneside. Looking very, very strong. I think you were right to call them out. Some good players, some very, very good play as well. 4 players now on the home hill, but the B hill is getting decapped. A saving grace, it is OAG and Snow. They've both managed to rotate round. Just prioritizing a different hill. And they did right to do that because there was 4 members of COG of Tyneside on their own home hill. They're going to defend that a little bit, but they've got to get down there. They've got to push Lemon out. OAG is the closest by the looks of things.
Just about broken on C-Hill, but it's not going to last long as Game Metro picks up yet again another elimination. 3-0, Alex. It's looking good for Guardians, I won't lie to you. I think we might both be wrong in our predictions here for the Guardians do keep up. Keep up the streak. Look at Mike, 13 eliminations in 3 rounds. He's really been the MVP thus far, Alex, and he's just the instigator of all these team fights, or team sweep, should I say.
Playing a very similar position to Sloth last week as well.
You're not wrong.
Playing on that home hill side, just pushing up very, very aggressively, trying to make plays where possible, and then making a great flank where not. Sniper comes in, but does get locked out instantly, so map going to stay exactly the same as we saw it last time around. Now we're on the last round of the half. Teams will look to push into this neutral hill. A bit of a queue going on as in Lakeside spawn.
Yeah, the sniper was placed, of course, down at the nades area, the small little room in the middle of the map, but yeah, instantly blocked. No, it's going to get taken down by Lemon. Again, Lemon really being aggressive on that B hill, gets into that cover before anyone else, and of course that can be a big advantage in Gears of War, Alex, that cover and being the first one to the shot.
That's for sure. COG now, just setting up a little bit. We do see OAG get a kill on McBride, but Spartan's hiding. Spartan's got a kill as well, and look at the kill feed there. It's all blue. It's all Tyneside. Good pistol coming out as well from Spartan. We're trying to get a bit of damage down now. Maybe to try and push that high ground, to try and push that advantage. The meat shield, of course. If you're not familiar with Gears, the meat shield is a tactic that you can use, a feature that you can use to pick up an enemy's body when they are down. Gives you a little bit more defense.
Yeah.
Mike, though, just cleaning up shop. He's 17-1 now. Can anyone stop him? McBride can, because his own teammate in the end. But looks like it's going to be a 4th round now locked in for Tyneside.
My gosh, they're fast, aren't they, Alex?
They're very quick.
They're so fast. I love it as well because Spartan Dan, not only does him and Lemon win that B hill fight convincingly, but also you saw Dan cutting off that whole lane essentially, containing one player, using that meat shield, holding it up, and making it very difficult for the enemy team to not only push B, but essentially get out of their own spawn, right?
And Mike picking up a double kill on that home as well. So Lakeside have made an adjustment there, trying to put 2 on the home side just to try and defend that a little bit heavier. But Mike picks up the double kill anyway, goes through, clutches up. And in the end, a home hill is his reward. We do see the torpedo go down in the middle, so that's going to be another thing to fight for down at the range.
It's going to be where the B hill was, right, Alex?
Exactly,
So we're going to have the new hills as the second half is upon us.
I'd love to stay on board with Mike, just to see what he's doing, just to see how he's playing this.
Yeah, let's follow Mike as his position now is right on the central hill. That's the E hill. Map control, if you will, just to the left of him. The height advantage we were talking about. And look at him already looking for that 1v1. Gaming.
Oh.
OAG says no, though. Nice little hold of the shot. Mike gets taken down.
Goes for the caster there, and we jump on board for the one of the 2 deaths that he's got. OAG now trying to make a double kill out of it. Lemon on the back foot, so weak now, but he's got the flank. Has he got 1? He's got 2 actually, looking for the 3rd. Going to rotate round to that balcony and look for OAG. Does get the headshot there, that's the triple. And it looks like Tyneside going to walk away with this E-Hill as a reward. Fantastic play by Lemon there, bad situation, but got himself out of it, got themselves out of it, and ended up clutching up.
Communication evident as well. OAG wasn't going to get that flank on the centre hill. Here comes another domination coming on through, and it will most certainly end the map there. 5-0.
Wow.
Even the second half wasn't going to slow them down, Alex. Under 1 minute that last round. Wow.
So quick.
MVP was Mike,
there's
of course.
the gun fingers.
Lovely emote. But yeah, I mean, I think safe to say, looking at the stats very briefly there, 19 eliminations for Mike in 5 rounds.
So good.
It was barely 5 minutes long, that map. I think the Tyneside Guardians could do that again.
Yeah.
Looking at how good they
so.
were there, right?
That was a solid performance. I really liked the strength of the slaying there. Mike was fantastic. As you said, 19 kills in 5 rounds. That's a very, very good score line. You usually see, in a usual kind of Pro League game, you will see between 20 and 25 eliminations for a player, but that's usually over the course of 7, 8, 9 rounds. So to get 19 and 5, very, very good.
And here's the thing as well, it wasn't only the individual skill and essentially enabling them to do all those triple caps, but it was also the communication as well. We saw Mike, not only did he have individual slaying power, but clearly he received the communication. Hey, where do I need to go? Where do I need to rotate?
Flank.
Where would I flank? He wasn't just simply, flanking one area of the map constantly. It was either on Home Street, it was also on the central hill, on the B hill at one round. And he usually, when he did go for that overextension, when he went for that triple gap, he had help. So he was communicating to his teammates. Everyone was clearly on board and on the same page. And honestly, a very good performance from Guardians. It wasn't just a simple slaying to win out there.
Yeah, and to be honest, looking at Snow on the opposite side, Snow was going down and fighting that B fight very, very well. He was just getting outnumbered a little bit and had a little bit less supporting fire from his team. So there were definite positives from both sides, but in the end, the slaying power was super strong.
Yeah, super impressive, folks. What we're going to do now is go to a 5-minute break as we wait for these two next teams to get ready to play. That wasn't a very good prediction from us, Alex.
No.
I will say
We'll improve,
5-0.
I promise.
I was closer though, so I'll take that.
Take it.
I'll take that.
Whatever. I'll get the next one.
We'll see. We'll see. 5-0 that last scoreline, guys. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back in 5 minutes with the next match. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gears 5 Arena Clash here from the Belong Arena. My name is Toby Campbell. Alex,
Hello,
Drew,
hello.
how are you, my friend?
Oh, great as always.
Good?
Yeah. After a terrible prediction, I'm still doing okay.
I mean, I was closer, but I mean, let's be real.
Yep.
They were very dominant, Guardians. It didn't look like they were going to drop around at any point.
No.
Mike was on fire. I think we might even have Player of the Week from him there on Training Grounds again. There's something about Training Grounds, evidently, guys. The teams like it. It's an enabler. I mean, Mike was an enabler there, just constantly flanking for sure.
Ain't wrong.
But the second match, let's talk about it. Let's look at the rosters right away, actually. This is a bit more of an interesting one, these two teams. York Vikings versus Cardiff Saints. Certain name stands out to me there. I'm sure it stands out to you, Alex. Who do you think that is?
Oh, Smoggy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought so
Smog.
as well. Obviously a bit of a veteran. History past in Gears of War, we'll say. And a very good player to boot as well. So yeah, expecting the York Vikings to come out pretty strong. Nash DJ as well. Obviously Nash is a name we see often in Gears of War, relating to that shotgun, that Nasher. So definitely a Gears player there. On the other side though, Cardiff, your hometown boys.
Yeah, I'm the city alongside Cardiff,
Hey,
yes.
It's close.
But
I'm going to say York's almost...
they're Welsh.
It's Yorkshire, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
close
So
enough.
we're head-to-head almost, pretty much.
Basically,
Almost like regionally head-to-head. But interesting rosters. I recognise Homeless One, Smoggy. Like the Guardians, I've seen York Vikings in action. Prediction-wise, I think I'd probably go with your team, York Vikings, as much as it hurts to say that. I don't think it'll be a 5-0.
You'll not be allowed back into Wales tonight.
I am a Gears fan, you know.
That's not going to cut it.
Well, no. I do have to drive past Cardiff, but nevertheless.
You're going to get egged on the way past.
So if that happens somehow, oh my. The map is going to be District, Alex.
Okay, cool. Different map.
Different map. Not as say traditional as Training Grounds. A little bit more complex, but one of my favourite maps. I mean, tell me, what are you thinking going into this one after seeing the rosters?
I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
York kind of sticks out as having some very good players on that team. In general, these are I'm just having a look at the stats, 3rd and 4th place teams in Group B. So actually it's our first match of Group B.
Yep.
So that's going to be interesting seeing a new group of teams start to play. But yeah, they're 3rd and 4th. They both won last week. In terms of the scores last week, it looks like York had a little bit of a better performance. But we'll see what happens in today's game, because it's all about today, right? It's not about last week.
Righto. And of course, as I say that, the map is loading, folks, very quickly. Smoggy is a player we are very familiar with. He's quite experienced in the game. Yep. Never really competed at that top level as know some of the players as like Manchester Swarm we saw last week. But I think is a very good chance that he'll be the in-game leader for this team. He'll be perhaps a Mike for this match, being very aggressive, shotgun heavy, and maybe joined by Nash DJ, of course. Nash D.
Yes.
Symbolizes the Nasher shotgun, the main weapon for Gears of War, the 1v1 weapon. I'm sure we're going to see some aggression from the York Vikings. As you can see, they are playing on the Swarm side. Cardiff Saints, the Welsh boys, they're going to be on the COG side. I want them to perform, but I think we're both favouring York Vikings in this one, Alex.
Yep, that's definitely true. Let's just quickly run through that roster. We've obviously got the belonged accounts on here rather than the home account. So 13 is Chesney, 14 Dr. Von Crump, 15 is Dragon, 16 is Post Shinobi, and number 17 is Jericho. So we do have a bunch of players that were on that roster. They're just on different accounts today, but we'll try and keep you updated as and when they make good plays. That
is for sure. I'm sure we're going to be seeing some of those top plays. That's Gears of War's known for. Smoggy actually picking up a kill on one, but finding his teammate, unfortunately, straight after. They currently have control of both hills. Smoggy just... Actually, he spotted a player. He's going to flank, I believe. Just a little bit of Lancer fire. Not a great position to be in right there. When you're that damage, Smoggy going to win that shotgun battle.
Hey, you know what, though? If he'd have been hit by a couple more bullets there, he could have
gone
gone down.
It was
did
close.
Whiff a shot, did whiff a bit of Lancer, so expecting better things from Smoggy, but in the end, claims that B hill.
Yeah, as we see, both sides actually playing a bit more passive here. It's the focus of map control and a double cap for the Swarm side here for York. And actually, they've taken green as well, or juice, and that's going to have a nice little viewpoint into the spawn. Smoggy actually getting down. Very quick revive from Try here, playing as the Cantus character. the monk, if you will, of the Locust. Alex, do love this character. Recently just returned to this game. And of course, Chrome Steel as well, the esports skin. Gorgeous.
Yeah, it definitely is. I find it interesting. I mean, you're completely right in saying the monk, but
Priest,
maybe
the more accurate description.
Kind of just feels a far shout from the silent monk.
Sure.
But anyway, let's have a look at the game. York seem to be starting to tee off a little bit here. Homeless one got a couple of kills. Try got one as well. Now it looks like Cardiff's going to fall as well. That's Cardiff 13, Chezzy, that does end up dying out there. Jumping on board with Smoggy. Smoggy going to make this rotation round just to join Comrade and try and make their way over towards that A-hill. The fight's going to be going down over there. Looks like the domination's going to start to tick. Don't think anyone here from Cardiff is able to stop this, but a long round, a much closer round than we've seen so far in the clash.
Yeah, a bit more passive, as I said. Both teams getting underway there. A lot of respect shown, I think, it's safe to say, from York. Clearly, they're confident in their ability to shotgun and win team fights, but Smoggy just holding right hand, Cantus nearby in the form of Try to get a revive if needs be, and they had a bit of a team wipe in the end as well. And no one really got taken out. They didn't lose any control. They held their nerve and just, finished it with a triple cap in good fashion at the end there. Smoke or flashbang, I believe, going down. And now, more of the same, actually, for Cardiff. Both symmetrical placements. New character in front of us, or an old character, I should say, Alex. It's Gears 2 character, all the way back. That game was released in 2008. Can you believe? Gears of War been around a long time.
20 years ago already.
So long. And yeah, one of my favourite characters in the series. So great to see him recently come back to the game too.
Yeah, that's for sure. Jumping on board. It looks like there's going to be a bit more of an aggressive push across the home hill street now through Bandstand. Do have a down on the side of Cardiff. Chezzy just looking at the mid street, making sure no one's flanking, but Nash DJ, great little vantage point here. This is exactly the situation you want to put yourself in. If they're going to push through that home street, get that perpendicular angle, shoot down from the top side, and use that lantern to its full capacity. You saw a lot of downs coming in there. That was good play by York, absorbing the pressure, absorbing the push, and now, off the back of that, they're granted with the C-Hill.
Yep, they've got the team wipe. Clearly that was communicated, not only the defense, but the reaction to that, taking advantage of that team wipe and going immediately to the enemy's home hill.
Yep.
Under a minute long that round, and truly it's methodical right now from York. They're doing such a great job. You saw Smoggy at the corner of our eyes just holding down the B hill on his own, and the rest of the players were holding on to the home hill.
Yep, struggling to find a kill yet, Cardiff. And for such a long round, that's kind of interesting, right?
Yeah.
For the first round at least.
True, yeah.
You don't usually see that.
Again, it's a lot of respect shown, I think, from York.
I think you're right. I think
playing safe first of all.
Finding the teams, like finding out the other team, right? Finding out what they're about, who the dangers are. In this case, looks to be quite a few people, and just making sure that you're not too aggressive if you're York in that opening round. But now they've got a bit of a number of Cardiff, a bit more aggressive of a push, and a bit more of a quicker round.
So nothing too fancy going down weapon placement-wise. Boltox out of spawn for one of these players. That is the Magnum of Gears of War, if you're unfamiliar with that weapon. Keep an eye on the minimap top right. You can see a lot more players now for York going towards that B hill. There's no extreme push or unorthodox push from Cardiff down to Home Street. So now they're free to use their resources, allocate their players. York over on that central hill.
There they are. Defense coming in now from Cardiff. Trying to hold the Picola, but honestly, not much to be gained up here. They need to start to rotate. They need to find their way through to that juice. That's the key building, in my opinion, in this map, are those two center rooms. I said the key. There are two of them, but each team has one. Juice on the side of Cardiff is the green room, and it's such a strong room to hold because you have to jump up into it. What that means in Gears of War is your animation locked for a little second or two, so it makes it very, very difficult to push if someone's paying attention. You want to be up there. You've got some good angles across the whole center of the map. But right now, looks to be all York. They did tempt the domination. Cardiff 13, Chezzy trying to get in that ring. 15 now is in there as well, but the cleanup crew is here. Cardiff 16 gets a double kill, but in the end gets taken out. Looks like the domination may just go in. Nope. There is a defense, a cap going down at the A hill.
I think that quickly. Should be it.
Yeah, Conrad's managed to clean that up. And a nice 1v1 for the round there.
Yeah, it was a 1v1. We thought at the end that the COG side had done just about enough. Cardiff to hold out and get a new wave of respawns to come through, but clearly Comrade, he won his 1v along with a team fight victory over on the B hill. Very good stuff. So far we've had utility in the form of grenades scattered around the map. Flashbangs, in fact, in every corner of the map now, Alex, and Boltox on one side. Cardiff, this is the time perhaps, we're going into the second half very soon, to change things up a little bit. Perhaps center line placement. In fact, going straight to upgrade a utility, I think. Let's see. No, it's going to be the disable in the center.
A little unorthodox, some would say.
A little unorthodox. Usually you hold the disable a little bit later.
Well,
but
you usually place it on a weapon. That's been placed as well.
That's true, indeed. But I think maybe they don't want an aggressive placement there in the middle in future, as clearly the initials are on York's side so far.
Yeah.
They don't want them getting in fast.
That's very true. That's very true. On board with Chezzy, just having a quick look through info. That's the opposite building to Juice that we mentioned. And this is a good spot right now. We see Dragon just holding this, just lancering down into B, but on the opposite side though, York, they've managed to find that B hill capture, and now they're on the defense once again. The Homeless One picks up one, been impressing me so far, has got a couple of double kills so far in this matchup. And now Dragon trying to make a push up, just take the fountain, but gets taken out. A headshot there by Nash DJ, just take him out. Chezzy still holding that angle, perhaps needs to move a little bit. Homeless One trying to bait out a shot, does indeed bait it out, goes for the one shot, manages to collect that. C hill the reward, and there should be another domination pretty quickly.
Yep, I think that's another shotgun kill coming through for Nash DJ. Not able to break in time with that remaining player for Cardiff Saints. Excellent job from the Homeless One, of course. He's had a number of Nasher kills there, stopping that that push from the Cardiff Saints on the home street.
And you saw the little bit of tech skill there, just bouncing out, basically baiting the shot. All they're doing there is trying to slide in, cancel the wall bounce, and because a lot of players expect, the up A, right, the slide round cover, the cover slip to come through immediately. Just delaying that every now and again, trying to bait out the shot, just gives you a little bit more time to work with it and try and find the correct shot for yourself. Exactly what Homeless One did there, was baiting out that shot, managed to bait it, goes around the corner for the up A, secures himself a kill. Standard Gears of War, but good Gears of War.
Absolutely.
And it's a good example of how you should be playing those fights.
Yep. Taking a look at the placements for potentially the last round, looking at how York Vikings were performing. We had a boom shot at the very bottom of the map. You mentioned it, the bandstand earlier. That is exactly where the Homeless One was picking up kills last round, and it's where the central hill, the new hill, in the form of the E hill here, is on the second half. The D and F hills, the home hills, they've moved up top now. So
this is an interesting position that you don't often see an escalation from Nash DJ. It's good for defending, but you don't usually see it off the opening, right? This is definitely a little unorthodox, but definitely working. Boom shot goes the way of the Homeless One, and now looking to pick up a kill or two. Is 12 and 1 already. Looking to add to that tally. Goes for the boom shot. Does connect. Dragon's going to fall. Still got. Doesn't have one in the barrel. Sorry. Looks to be used in both. So now going to push up with that Nasher. Looking to work his way around the guitar box, we sometimes call it. Comrade gets one now. Defense coming in. Comrade does get that safety though, picks up Homeless One as well, and that was a good push by York once again, and the elimination victory almost ticks through.
Yeah, I think this could be a domination now, looking at the shotguns on this side. 3 seconds to go for them to break in time. Can Cardiff reach then? No, they cannot. You see Jay rotated early on from the green room, or the blue room, excuse me, to the enemy's home hill. 57 seconds it took for the last round, Alex. I think yet again, another 5-0. No surprise there. The Homeless One is the MVP, dominating on the home street.
Good show of respect there as well from Cardiff, given the GG at the end. It was a good game. They put up a good fight, especially in that opening round. They had a good defense, but in the end, York, they look strong. They look great.
Yeah. Total of 2 eliminations for Cardiff there on that last map. And yes, it was a bit more of a difficult map, I think you could say, judging on how they went each round.
Yep.
But, of course, I think Homeless One, the individual skill from him, we didn't even see much of Smoggy. He was kind of dominating that B hill area, or the central hill there for the map.
Yep.
But it was more so about the home street, wasn't it? Because Cardiff Saints tried to be aggressive, unorthodox track to put the home hill straight away. But, of course, too easy. Perhaps Homeless won that.
Once that Boltok came in, we saw the headshots coming through from Nasty J. We assumed they were shotguns, but they weren't. They were the Boltok that was coming off spawn. And the positioning that he had up in that info room, looking down over the opening fight, that's something that you don't even see at the pro level. That's actually pretty smart, and that's something that could get picked up. I like that position on District. It's a really interesting way to sit and play, and perhaps we'll see more of that. That was pretty good. But this York team, looking like a contender, that's for sure.
Absolutely. I think very quickly as well, the boom shot went down that round at the bandstand. So clearly Jay heads up play, sitting in the blue room, getting that angle with the Boltok. It can be a sniper at times, can't it?
It is a sniper. It can be.
If you can headshot people with that, so they don't go down. Very quick kills there. The damage that could have heavily influenced that team fight there. If, of course, Homeless One and Comrade needed the help there with the weapon.
That's true. And very quick to rotate to the other side as well if you need to support the cinema side. So
excellent. Yeah.
Good position.
Important rooms. Right? Very important rooms. Blue and green. We'll see much more of that here at Belong Arena, guys. It's been not as close again.
Yeah,
it's been a bit of a landslide, it's safe to say. 5-0, both games. Guardians looking very good. York as well. Clearly some formidable teams in the arena. There's a bit of a difference between the perhaps experience levels of these teams.
Want to add to the list, though, right? Want to add to the list of those that potentially could be making playoffs.
Absolutely. We saw Manchester Swarm do a very good job.
Yep.
Last. Do you think that's still the team to beat, perhaps? It's the best team we've seen so far, the Manchester Swarm.
So far, yes, 100%. I'm looking forward to seeing Clyde in the coming weeks because they're an exceptionally strong team as well. And Sutton, if they show up as well, could Sutton, be a very strong team alongside Stratford.
Sutton are very good. Can't wait to see them play for sure. But guys, thank you for watching. That's going to be it for Gears of War this week. Pleasure as always, Alex, of course, breaking down Escalation for any new viewers. And man, oh man, some of these teams are just extremely good, aren't they? Can't wait to see more of them and see how the tables develop. But once again, guys, thank you for watching. Please do follow the stream if you haven't already. We will see you next Tuesday.